My maytag centennial washer, model #XXXXX stops on the wash cycle. When we start the washer it will fill with water, but when we come back and check it the green light under wash is on but the washer has stopped. Sometimes we can push the start button again and it will work, but most of the time it will get stuck on the wash cycle. I talked to Maytag repair line and they gave me 2 part numbers. Not sure which to order. Part numbers are W10251338 and W104222816. Any ideas? Thanks in advance for your help.
Hello, my name is XXXXXX I will help you with your washer. The first thing that occurs to me is that if you aren't getting any cold water that it might fill for wash but then not for rinse. Can you tell if you are getting cold water?
I removed the cold water hose going to the back of the washer and I am getting cold water.
Sorry, I want clear. Are you getting cold water into the washer or only hot? W104222816 is the control, but we need to do more testing before we will know.
From what I can tell we are getting cold water but not hot water into the washer.
Okay, we will need to run diagnostic to determine the problem. We'll send instructions in a few minutes. Here you go. It is a little tricky and reading the code is too. Activating the service diagnostic test modes 1. Be sure the washer is in standby mode, plugged in with all indicators off. 2. Perform the following sequence of movement using the cycle selector knob. Note, after reset, sequence A through E must be completed within 6 seconds. Reset. Rotate cycle selector knob counterclockwise 1 or more clicks to clear sequence. A. Rotate cycle selector knob clockwise 1 click and wait half a second. B. Rotate cycle selector knob clockwise 1 click and wait half a second. C. Rotate cycle selector knob clockwise 1 click and wait half a second. D. Rotate cycle selector knob counterclockwise 1 click and wait half a second. E. Rotate cycle selector knob clockwise 1 click. Successful activation of diagnostic test modes will be indicated by all status LEDs, except for lid locked, flashing on and off in half-second intervals. Note, LED names may vary between makes and models. When all LEDs are flashing, turn the knob until the done light comes on. Press the start button. Turn the knob clockwise 1 click and observe if any LEDs flash in sequence. If the sensing, pre-wash, and or soak LEDs are on, the fault number is XXXXX, if off, the error number is XXXXX. The remaining LEDs, wash, rinse, spin, and done, represent the fault and error code in binary. The code is read by reading what LEDs are on with the sensing LED, this is the fault, and then what LEDs are on when it goes out, this is the error. Watch the alternating codes and let me know what lights, if any, are on when the sensing LED is on and then what lights come on when it goes off.
When sensing light is on, the rinse and done light are on. When sensing light is off, the done light is on.
That failure is for a lid switch fault. It occurs if the lid switch sticks closed. Was it the only fault code? If you unplug the washer and wait a few minutes and then try it again and it works for a load or more, we will know it is the lid latch assembly. Let me know.
How do I verify that that is the only fault code?
After you read the first code, if you turn the knob one click at a time clockwise, it will display the next code if any are present.
I ran the diagnostics again, and this time the sensing light flashes by itself, no other lights are flashing. If I rotate the knob one click clockwise, all the lights except the lid light flash. I did this twice and got the same results both times.
Okay, did you try a new cycle after unplugging the washer?
Running a cycle now. I will let you know. Thanks for your help so far. The washer ran through the wash and rinse cycle, then the wash light came back on and the lid unlocked, and the washer did not do anything after that. I checked codes again, sensing flashes by itself. After one click clockwise, all but lid light flash. After another click clockwise, the sensing and was light flash together, and the done light flashes by itself. After another click clockwise, the sensing light flashes by itself.
The sensing and wash plus done is a code for long fill, but it ran one complete cycle this time.
It ran through the wash and rinse but did spin and the wash light came back on. I moved the cycle knob to the drain and spin option, and it ran the spin cycle, and then the done light came on.
Wow, this is getting confusing. Let's delete all codes and try again. When in diagnostics, turn the knob until all the LEDs light and then press and hold the start button for 4 seconds. Then run a cycle until there is a problem and stop and run diagnostics. There should only be one code. The one we need.
Okay, here we go. Washer filled with water, then agitated, then drained, then spun, then it started filling with water again. This time when it filled with water it took a long time, maybe 20 minutes. When the water fill stopped, it immediately started to drain. It drained a lot of water. When it was filling the second time, it sounded like the water level in the washer was nearly to the top and we just had a small load in. Codes: 1. Sensing and wash together and done by itself. 2. Sensing by itself and spin by itself. 3. Sensing by itself. The green light stayed on the wash cycle the entire time all this was going on.
Well, we got the long fill code again. Tell me about your drain hose. Does it go into a pipe? How far into the pipe? How high off the floor is the pipe? If it really was filling for 20 minutes, that is the problem. The water may have been going down the drain.
The drain hose goes into a pipe that is 37 inches off the floor. The hose has a curve in the end that goes into the pipe, and the hose goes into the pipe 3 inches.
That sounds okay. When you say it filled for 20 minutes, could you hear the water coming in, or was it just humming? Maybe the cold water fills very slowly? When you had off the hoses, could you see if the screens in the washer were clogged? If you are on a well, it could be debris like sand, etc. In the valve screen.
Think you figured it out. I took hoses off the back of the washer again and all was clear, so I took hoses off from shut-off valves and both hot and cold hoses were clogged. Running cycle now, and I can tell the water pressure is much better. I will let you know what happens.
This is much better than a $200 control. Let me know after a cycle, but I think it will be okay. Dave.
Ran it through a cycle and it worked great. You saved me a good deal of money. I called the Maytag hotline a couple days ago and they told me I needed to buy both of those parts that I originally asked about. I would have done that and it still would not be working. Thank you for your patience and all of your help.
You're welcome.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/YTHI.